Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's severe weather update. So, another severe weather outbreak is likely across portions of Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, and Missouri today, where the Storm Prediction Center has issued a level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk of severe weather across the orange shaded area. We have a slight risk of severe weather extending all the way down from central through northeast Texas, eastern Oklahoma, western Arkansas, through most of Missouri, eastern Kansas, eastern Nebraska, into most of Iowa in the yellow. And then we have a marginal risk of severe weather today, extending from much of central and southern Texas all the way up through Illinois, portions of southern Wisconsin, Minnesota, and southeastern South Dakota in the dark green area for today. And looking at our tornado probabilities within 25 miles of a location today, we once again have a 10% chance of a tornado touching down within 25 miles of a location today across central southwestern Iowa, eastern Nebraska, northeastern Kansas, and northwestern Missouri in the yellow shaded area. This includes areas like Omaha, Lincoln, Nebraska, Des Moines, Iowa, and Kansas City, Missouri. Make sure you're on guard for numerous tornadoes today across the yellow hatched area, and a couple of these tornadoes could be EF2 or stronger in the yellow hatched area today. We have a 5% chance of a tornado touching down within 25 miles of a location from northeast Texas through western Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma and Kansas, most of Missouri and Iowa, into eastern Nebraska in the brown shade area. Make sure you're on guard for some scattered tornadoes if you live in the brown shade area today. And then an isolated tornado is possible all the way down towards areas of central Texas, eastern Arkansas, Missouri, western Illinois, all the way up into far southern Minnesota and southeastern South Dakota in the dark green shade area today. So make sure you have your tornado shelter plan in place, especially across this yellow shaded region. Taking a look at our damaging wind threat for today, we have a 15% chance of damaging straight line winds of 58 miles per hour or stronger within 25 miles of a location across most of Iowa, eastern Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, northeastern Texas, much of Arkansas and Missouri in yellow, and a 5% damaging wind risk all the way down towards southwest Texas, most of Illinois, southwestern Wisconsin, southern Minnesota, southeastern South Dakota, central Nebraska in the brown. Make sure you're on guard for scattered damaging wind gusts across the yellow shade area today and isolated damaging wind gusts. Speaking of damaging wind gusts, we actually have ongoing thunderstorms across eastern Oklahoma and northwestern Arkansas, producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts this morning. So make sure you're taking these storms seriously if you live across eastern Oklahoma, around Fort Smith, Arkansas, and Fayetteville, Arkansas, as these storms continue to push to the east through the morning hours. And then finally taking a look at our large hail threat. This, like the last several events, is once again going to be the primary concern, where we have a 30% chance of quarter-size hail or larger within 25 miles of a location across eastern Nebraska, southwest Iowa, northwest Missouri, and northeastern Kansas in the red shade area today. A 15% hail risk from Iowa all the way down towards central Texas in the yellow, 5% chance in the brown towards the Texas-Mexico border. And if you live anywhere in this hatched area, from Killeen, Waco, through Dallas, Fort Worth, through Tulsa, Oklahoma, up through Kansas City, through Omaha and Lincoln, make sure you're parking your cars in the garage today, as we have the threat of significant hail of golf ball to tennis ball to baseball size across this hatched region today. And if you live across areas like Omaha and Lincoln, Kansas City, I wouldn't rule out an isolated softball size hail report either. So make sure you're preparing for large destructive hail if you live anywhere in this black hatched area today. Now, timing out these storms across the Midwest, we got a lot of morning convection ongoing across much of the Midwest, which might complicate things later today if the atmosphere doesn't recover. However, the 12Z run of the HRRR model clears out these storms by noon, leaving plenty of time for the atmosphere to recover into the afternoon, And as we go into about 4 o'clock this afternoon, notice down here towards areas of Missouri and Arkansas and northeast Oklahoma, could be seeing embedded supercells down here. And then as we go into about 5 o'clock, a line of supercells could develop across eastern Nebraska and Iowa, producing large destructive hail and tornadoes. Going into 6, 7 o'clock, this line is going to push across Iowa, northwest Missouri, with ongoing storms across most of the state of Missouri, producing large hail, tornadoes, and damaging winds into about 7 o'clock this evening. Going to 8 o'clock, could be seeing supercells producing giant hail across southern Iowa, and then a line of storms producing damaging winds around the St. Louis area. And then going into 9 and 10 o'clock, very heavy storms pushing potentially through Des Moines, producing large destructive hail in Des Moines, Iowa. And then notice these clusters pushing through Illinois and Missouri. Could be seeing a lot of damaging winds down here as well through 10 o'clock Central Time this evening. And then going into 11 and midnight, these storm clusters continue to be severe as they push into northeast Iowa and central Illinois before finally weakening into the early morning hours on Saturday. And taking a look at our storms across Texas and the Arklatex, the HRRR model wants to develop a cluster of severe storms around noon into the Temple and Waco area, through Dallas-Fort Worth, into southern Oklahoma and northeastern Oklahoma, producing large destructive hail up to golf ball, tennis ball, baseball size. Going into 1, 2, 3 o'clock, storms will push across northeast Texas, northwest Arkansas, southern Missouri, and then going through 6, 7 o'clock, could be seeing ongoing large hail producing storms in the DFW area. Make sure you're really parking your cars in the garage, because I think there's a sleeper large hail outbreak threat across portions of the Dallas-Fort Worth area down through Waco this afternoon and evening. And then going even into the overnight, storms continue across central northeastern Texas into portions of Arkansas before weakening into Saturday morning. So make sure you're preparing for another widespread severe weather outbreak today. I think today is going to be worse than yesterday, as we have a lot more favorable atmospheric dynamics, especially up towards portions of Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, and Missouri. So make sure you're preparing for a large destructive hail, numerous tornadoes, and scattered damaging winds. Thanks for watching. Please stay safe and have a wonderful day, my friends.